coming back to the Narnia Chronicles for you, what was it like to, once you were done with the first one, were you already set to do part two, or was it?
Yeah, by the time I finished the first one, like really finished, I sort of knew that I'd be doing part two. And that being said, it was hard to still commit to. The first time through, I was pretty naive. I hadn't done this before. I didn't know the challenges. I didn't know the pitfalls. I just kind of went into it. This time through, I knew what I was getting into, and it made it harder to commit to it.
But I mean, this film is large. To what from a viewer standpoint, it seems larger than the first time around. And so shooting like massive war sequences, and what was that like for you to plan ahead of time? And I don't know, were there other obstacles they had to overcome this time around then?
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to do was to make the film feel a bit more epic. I was very happy with how big the film was last time, but it started small and grew and grew and grew. It's this idea of going in through the wardrobe and the world slowly expanding. So where we got to at the end was a more epic landscape. I wanted to kind of start with that epic landscape and then expand the world of Narnia further, and that meant in terms of the depth of the characters, it meant in terms of the diversity of nationality of the characters, and it meant in terms of using more locations. I shot on more locations, more distant locations, more remote locations, and all of those things bring a lot of challenges with them.
You got to see these children kind of grow up in front of you. What was it like to direct them again the second time around, and have they been lucky enough to kind of avoid the trappings of celebrity, as children sometimes?
They have, and I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to any of them yet, but they're really great kids. I sort of became a surrogate parent to some degree. Georgie was 8 years old when she started this film. She's a long way from home. And they formed a little family unit, and they kind of let me be part of that family unit. And so I've got to see them sort of grow both on screen and off, and stayed in touch with all of them throughout. And I'm really proud and pleased with the way they've all grown up and matured.
Then bringing a new member into this kind of family, then what was it like to work with Ben, and how did he kind of like interact with these people?
Well, when I first met Ben, I knew that he would be fine. You always have that worry of injecting this new person into this tight-knit group. And they were very welcoming of him, but on top of that, he's just a genuinely nice young man. I mean, he's very warm, he's very open, and I knew that he would interact well pretty much immediately when I met him.
When shooting this film, you get to go back to New Zealand. What is it like shooting out there? What is it about this country that manages to have these backdrops that are just second to none?
I think New Zealand has been remote from the rest of the world for a long time. It apparently broke off Australia quite early on and took all the good parts with it. But no, I think part of it is it was settled quite late, and there was already a sense of conservationism when the country was settled. So there's still large portions of the country relative to the landmass that have been left alone. So you can actually find a lot of unspoilt wilderness there. And on top of that, just the nature of the land, it changes a lot. You can be in a tropical beach and 8 hours later be at the top of a snow-capped mountain. And that gives you a lot of variety when you're shooting. Then
was it interesting for you to go to shoot someplace like Prague then, or Czech Republic, where it was definitely much more of a city, or
Yeah, I mean, we did, some of these locations are also in Poland and Prague and Slovenia, and in Slovenia the end sequence with the river and the river god, that's a stunning location, and actually matches the South Island of New Zealand incredibly. The same aquamarine coloured water and so on. I was very lucky on these films because I was looking for unspoiled wildernesses. I got to fly all around places, all around the world in a helicopter, land in places no one has been for years. Really a very unique experience.
Now, I was talking to Anna and saying this was a bit of a bittersweet kind of film for her. Is it like the same for you? Because I know that you might, I don't know if you're coming back for the third one, but
I'm not going to direct the third one. I'll be involved and I'll produce with Mark again. But the term bittersweet is perfect. It's perfect description of, I think, what the experience for us letting go of the film, but it also is the emotion that I think is conveyed most strongly through the film, and certainly for the older Pevensies. It's that sort of thing of your loss of childhood and acceptance of your loss of childhood, and there is a bittersweet, nostalgic feeling to that.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.